We're live.
All right, cool. Cool. All right. So the first call that I'm going to review, this is with James um, and our guy Aaron out of California. So let's listen here. Can you guys hear this okay? Oh, hold on. It's always when I'm in demo mode.
Here we are.
Hello. Hello.
Can I speak to Marty?
Well, this is Marty. Yes, you're speaking.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Yeah, this is James. Oh, and I'm assistant to realtor Aaron Rose. How are you today?
Oh, I'm well, thank you.
Okay, good to hear. You reached out to us a while back regarding your property at La Grande Avenue in Yuba City.
Yeah, we had one of your agents visit out here and look at the house.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it was a ways back. I believe like October last year, I believe.
Right, that's right. Yes.
Was it Aaron Rose that came out to see you?
Aaron, yes, it was Aaron. Is this with you?
Yeah, I'm actually going through his database to try to clean things up in here, to see if people are still in the market to buy or sell, things of that nature.
Sure. Well, I can tell you that we are not presently in the market to sell, but we're always interested to know, what value range we are in, and but we're not really interested to make a move.
I understand. Let me ask you, Marty, how long ago was the last time you were in contact with Eric? Do you have a ballpark?
He calls now and then, probably at least 6 months.
Okay. Would you like me to maybe put you in contact with him right now if you have a few minutes, just so he can touch base with you? No obligation to put it on the market, but maybe he can tell you if it's gone up, it's gone down.
Oh yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine. I do have time right now, not a lot, but I have a little.
Okay, let me see if I can get him. Let me see if he's available.
Sure.
Please hold on,
Okay.
I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. So far, James, not bad.
Yeah, he's looking for the agent that contacted us. He was very nice. Aaron knows that. We're just going to chit chat, and he can tell me if the market is improving or not. I believe it's not. Give it the Trump's tariff. I don't think anybody here is still in.
Yeah, Marty, I have Aaron here on the line with you to reconnect you with him, okay?
Okay, thank you. Hi, Aaron.
Are you there, Aaron?
Hi, Marty.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I didn't contact you, but your colleague did, and I told him nothing has really changed in our position, but I am curious. How do you see the market performing at this time generally? Is it about the same it was the last time, we talked, which is about a year? Are things improving?
Year on year right now, the market's dropped about 10%. Where are you at right now?
We're on La Grande Avenue in Yuba City.
Yeah, so in Yuba County, roughly, we've lost 10% year over year in the market. We've shifted in a really strong buyer's market right now.
A strong buyer's market because prices are lower, right?
No, because prices are dropping.
That's
prices
right.
are definitely coming down, but yeah, they're getting lower.
Oh, well, that's life. That's life in a Donald
That's where we're
Trump
at,
era.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
How do you figure that guy out?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're mad, then please attend any one of the various rallies that we're having all around the country. So
no, I prefer not to. I have way more fun helping people like you figure out what to do with their property, and then,
right.
I'm getting ready to start writing some books about that, so I can, help people in different ways.
Go for it. Well, thank you for coming to the call.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I ask you just a couple of questions so I can kind of do in the right category in my list?
Of course.
So first of all, I know I already have this, but I like to just take dubious recursive notes sometimes. It helps me.
Sure.
Can you just tell me the address one more time?
1414 La Grande Avenue in Yuba City.
All right. I just want to say that was a really tactful way to reconfirm information. A lot of times people are just like, "What's your address?" But he kind of softened the blow. I just want to give praise here to Aaron. He softened the blow by asking, hey, I forgive me, I might have already asked this, but I take dubious amounts of notes. I take a lot of notes. Remind me, what is your home address again? That was a very soft way to ask that question. And right now, over the phone with a complete stranger, those little things really do make a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I already have that, but it just helps me when I put up a new
Right.
note on my notepad here.
Oh, sure.
And you've been there how long?
I beg your pardon?
How long have you been there?
Oh, goodness. 45 years.
45 years. And I'm guessing, unless, well, did you refi? Do you owe anything still?
Very little. Very, very little.
Very few tens
We,
of thousands?
we owe 140, at 2.6. We're not eager to
Yeah,
get things.
no, you're not. That's gold money. That's actually reverse money. That money is
That's
gold.
reverse money, right?
Right, because it actually grows somehow because of the interest differentiation with inflation,
Oh,
right?
I know. I mean, it's weird, but, yes, my husband. has-
2.5, you said?
What? We'll
You
take
got
all
a
the
2.5?
money. Yeah, and my husband has been very cagey when it comes to sniffing out the interest rates that we can get on refi. This is quite a few years ago, but
Well,
we're
yeah,
very
I mean, my wife is a loan officer, and I can tell you that we went toe to toe with a top performing lender up in Grass Valley, and she
Yeah.
was able to match Abdija's rates in her first year. And I guess, you know, I kind of hate her for it because he's like, come work for me because I'll pay you double. I'll teach you how to take double the amount of commission on every loan. And she's like, no, I'm happy here. I just like helping people get the best deals. I'm
Okay,
like,
well-
let's make some more. No, she's like, no, just give them the best deal. I'm like, make more? No, best deal. I'm like, okay, fine, best deal.
Just-
she's right.
you know, just love her to pieces because she's making money.
I do. You know, not only does she make money for me, she's got my 3 kids, schools all turnkeyed, and she helps me with my real estate business, and we have our
Oh.
education company. So like we're just living the dream and dealing with all of the fun stuff that comes up along the way.
And working your butts off. Well, I'm glad to hear that for both you and your dear wife. And so just stay in touch. Maybe if anything changes, like if Donald Trump gets shot dead.
Yeah, I'll tell you my prediction, and this is just me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I saw a really good agent who was kind of confirming this for me, which is that during the pandemic, that money that you have, I got it too. I got it 2.25, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so everybody is in that, like everybody that could got it, right? And now
Yeah.
everybody that can is hanging on to it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's reverse money or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
So that spiked the whole market, like an injection of I don't know, fentanyl or something.
Right.
And put the whole it put the whole market into this kind of drug-induced trance of reverse money.
Right.
And so everybody, I sold my place in LA and I moved out to Yuba County. I sold a quarter chunk of a cul-de-sac pizza pie wet
Yeah.
for 23 acres and double the house. And I saved I bought it for 3/4 of what I sold, you know?
Oh,
it was like,
my goodness.
right. So
Well,
I was like,
congratulations.
it's not about me. That's the whole market, right? So that's what's
Yeah.
coming down from, and everybody's still holding on to the number they saw in 2022 in June, because
Yeah.
that was the very tip of that needle. And then coming down from that, you have to see there's another line that's actually more normal, because it's actually what we know to be normal inflation, which is between 3 to 5% typically, right? So like you could go anywhere between 1 and 7 depending on the market, right? But typically it's going to be between a 3 and 5% average growth trend that goes up and down around that line, and then you have this big, huge spike.
Well, and there's a
So-
lot of ifs because there's so much uncertainty worldwide.
Of course,
And
but typically
everybody gets nervous. Well, hey, I gotta go. I'm making a batch of basil pesto, and
Okay,
I'm
let me
in the
just
middle
finish
of
in
it.
2 seconds, and I'll let you go.
Okay.
When that big spike comes down and hits that standard 3 to 5% uptrend, that's where the market will start to have the gravity to shift back upwards, and that could take probably between 3 and 5 years at this point.
Well, and you'll stay in touch with us because at that point,
Yeah, absolutely.
we're gonna be so old. I'm gonna be in a home, and my husband is gonna be going blah, 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 blah. There you
Yeah,
go.
and feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll put you on. What's the best schedule, like on a monthly or a quarterly call? What do you do to be
I
a
would
period
say
off? Period off.
quarterly. Yeah.
Quarterly? Okay,
would be
perfect.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
okay,
thank
perfect.
you.
I'll follow up in a few months. Thanks for talking.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Enjoy the cooking. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I have some notes here, but I want to hear from you guys first. What are some areas of improvement? What are some small hinges that could swing big doors in this conversation? We have a homeowner who is hesitant because of the political, stance, their view on the economy. They're really hesitant. Andres, when you and I talked about the buyer's pocket, the belief that either A, it's possible, or B, that they know that they can't do it themselves. Someone who's in the buyer's pocket, the decision-making pocket, needs to be in between those two beliefs. And if you think of the inverse of that, someone who thinks that it's impossible because of the market is likely not moving forward. Someone who thinks that they could do it themselves, they can put it on the market themselves, they're likely not moving forward with you. So this was a great, fantastic example of someone who is very clearly outside of the buyer's pocket. Not because they don't need to sell. They obviously are interested in selling. They're obviously curious about selling, what those possibilities, what those outcomes could be. But one thing is definitely holding them back. And that's their belief in the economy that now is the right time. So what is your guys' feedback? What are some small hinges that swing big doors that you guys said, wow, if our guy Aaron would have said this, or had he mentioned this, the conversation might have went a different route?
I was curious to learn why they're entertaining the idea of selling. Like,
Yeah, so why are you selling? What's motivating you?
they're considering it, but they're not, like you just said, they're not in that pocket of selling because of the high interest to buy something else. But what brought them to that? And dive into that a little bit more to understand and try to bring some value into making a decision and not waiting for that interest rate to go down.
Yeah. Now we don't know what the backstory is. So it sounds like Aaron's already talked to this person before. But Andres, you're absolutely right. Because we talked to so many people, at minimum bringing that up, like reminding them, hey, remember when you told me the reason why you're moving is because you and your husband are getting older and you'd like to downsize and you really don't like to, climb the stairs every night to go to bed, or whatever that problem is. And even though we're in conversation, this might have been like, the second or third or fourth conversation, right? But in bringing that stuff up, you're absolutely right. Why, let's bring up the motivator again, right? You're asking me a question, is now the right time? That all depends on you.
Yeah.
Someone who needs to sell their house so that they can be closer to their grandkids because their daughter just got divorced, and they want to be closer to the kids and help raise the kids, like that doesn't really determine the economy. The economy has a very little influence on that decision. And so us asking these questions, like, what is the motivator? Is now the right time in the market? I think there's only one right answer, and it depends on you. Kara and I had this conversation the other day about one of her listings. Like, should she take one of the offers, and having the conversation with the seller. And the seller was like, back and forth, not sure which offer they should take. And so, asking questions like, what's more important to you?
It's 12:15.
Getting the most out of your asset, like the most net from your asset, or are you trying to move out as quickly as possible? What's more important to you, moving out as quickly as possible, or getting the most amount for your asset? Because based on that decision, that tells us what path we're going to take and what suggestions we're going to, lean towards the most, right? So Andres, yes, I picked that up big time. Why are we selling? And even if this is a third or fourth conversation, that stuff still should be brought up. Hey, is it still important to you that insert whatever the reason?
Yeah, I like
that. If that's still important to you, then really, right now is actually a really good time for you to sell and find the right one that you're looking for. Because houses are on the market for longer than 60 days, 90 days right now.
Yeah, and I think also will help bring some urgency depending on what's happening in the market. If get to find something that's what's going to motivate her, that's exactly what she's looking for. Hey, these type of property are only in the market for X amount of days. So bring some urgency in that aspect afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how also he asked her permission to follow up, whether it's monthly, quarterly, to stay engaged in that communication and provide her an update and see where she's at. But again, going back to understanding her motivators and creating some urgency in those conversations quarterly, as often as they come.
Yeah. Because we don't know. Again, there's a lot that we don't know. And hindsight's 2020, and us looking from the outside, looking in, is of course we're looking at this like, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. There's a million different ways that you would have, should have done things differently. Not knowing if someone's really struggling to go up and down the stairs, and they've been doing this for months and things aren't really getting better. The political status is it a motivator? Maybe. But is it going to be the motivator why they move? I mean, even figuring that out. So say, what are your expectations with the local economy? Like we can make jokes about Donald Trump, but what are your, I'm curious, what are you holding out for? Or is there something specific that you're looking for? Is there a certain number that you're looking for so that in your next transition, you have enough to pay for whatever it is? And if it's really that interest rate, that we're worried about, I have some builders or some building partners that are willing to, it's not 2.5 or 2.6 like you're used to, but compared to what other people are getting, right now I'm seeing 6.5. I cannot quote any rates for you, but some of my lender partners are offering 4.9 on new builds. Would you be open to that? I know I can't get you 2.25 like you have right now, or 2.5 like you have right now, but if I can find you properties that fit your budget and are at that price point, would you guys be open to that? Coming up with different options. What else did you guys hear? What other takeaways did you guys get from this follow-up call?
Just making pesto.
Making pesto.
Some fresh basil, so good.
Yeah. I might follow up. Like if we talk about what are some ways that we can personalize our follow-up, I might send a pesto recipe or a pasta recipe, like if that's the only thing that I have a connection with that person on, I'm gonna send, maybe an Instagram DM with like if I see a pasta recipe or something, okay. Well, so if you guys don't have anything to share, the thing that I wrote down was listening. There was a lot of opportunities to take the call and lean into the homeowner a lot further, a lot of opportunities. So political climate, let's lean into that. What about, our presidency has you kind of worried? Maybe there's a a specific policy that there's a myth that, they have this myth about, the housing, whatever. Let's uncover that. Let's lean into that. When we're talking about doubt and finding someone who's in the buyer's pocket, figuring out if they believe it's impossible, ways that we can uncover what the true reason why they think it's impossible. So when you said this, can you tell me more about that? Or what did you mean when you said this? And coming from like a complete place of curiosity, and some other questions, some tactical questions that you guys can ask. When you listed your house last time, or the last time that you listed your property, what was your experience like? What happened? So I know that this isn't the first time that you've considered selling. So walk me through the last time that this happened, that you went through this process. Jesse, I see your hand up.
I was going to mention that it was great that he had her and possibly her husband right beside the phone. Like that was a transfer of information really rapid to confirm things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that very often. Usually it's, I gotta talk to my husband, let me get back to you.
Yep.
Or let me talk to my wife, let me get back to you.
Yep. Now, a couple of things I noticed. Did you guys hear? They had purchased the property 45 years ago. Is that what I heard? Do you think that person has neighbors?
Probably.
That's not a rhetorical question.
I guess you'd have to confirm the neighborhood, but yeah, they could be on an acreage.
Given
Right.
where
Yeah,
Aaron
everybody's got neighbors.
given where Aaron lives in that area, they may not be as close to each other as
They might not.
let me walk over for sugar type of thing.
Yeah. So they might not be, walk over for a cup of sugar type neighbors, but living in the area for 45 years, do you think they know other homeowners?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if I'm looking at this, if I'm trying to have the standard where there's opportunity in every situation that I'm in, this homeowner who's been a part of the community for 45 years, who's probably held an upstanding job for the last 45 years in a local community, probably has friends in the last 45 years that they've developed relationships, etc. They probably go to church. This person, in recruiting, we say you don't recruit to, you recruit through. And it's the same capacity when you're talking with someone who might not be ready today, but if they're planning on selling in 6 months or in 12 months, that gives you opportunity not only to become their best friend, their best real estate agent, but if they're moving in 12 months, what are they telling everyone? Every friend, oh, I'm moving. Oh, we're moving. We're getting ready for the move. We're talking about the move. Every conversation that they're having right now, Kara and I are in a move. Every one of our friends, every time we talk to them, we mention something about the move, something that's happened with the move. And so if you want to be there, if you want more people to evangelize who you are, you want more referrals, you don't have to get to the closing table just to ask for a referral. Okay. That's a big one. You do not have to wait till you get to the closing table to ask for a referral. Who's ever gotten a referral from a friend who you didn't do business with? Church, a friend, coworker, someone from, past. So this is an opportunity. Homeowners interested. They're curious about the market. They're curious about how much the property might be able to sell for in today's market. And we have the opportunity to provide value. So I think Aaron did a great job of showing his expertise. I think Aaron did a great job of making the person feel comfortable, like they can follow up with. Where I might add some tactical things for the next call, the next conversation. Even if it is months out or 6 months out, a year out, the ability to get face to face, and it sounds like they've already met together. But even if it's to meet up for coffee, I think would be just another way to solidify your business, solidify your name to, hey, when I think real estate agent, I think Aaron, or I think Hope, I think Jesse, I think Andres, right? That's what we want. And I actually have a question for you guys. I want to end with this. Hope, in your market, if I could just put you on the spot here, in your market, if I'm visiting and I want to, now I'm a guest in your town and I want Mexican, I want to go to the best Mexican restaurant. Where are you taking me?
Place on Rossville called El Salto.
El Salto. Okay. All right. So as quickly now, let me ask you this. Did El Salto advertise to you in the last 30 days?
No.
Do you remember any big campaign or big branding message in the last 30 days?
None of that, no.
So when I asked you the best Mexican restaurant, your immediate thought was the first placeholder, the first person that hangs in that category when you think Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
in that same capacity, we want to do that same thing for the real estate agent category. When someone thinks real estate agent, they think hope. So when that person goes to church, even though they're not ready, they're not listing their house for another 12 months. That person goes to church and their family member says, oh, I'm listing my property, or I'm thinking about moving. And the person mentions that they don't have a real estate agent. That's your opportunity to be that El Salto. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was just one call that we reviewed today, but do you guys feel like you knew more than you came into this call, and you know exactly how to apply what you learned that same day? Did I do okay today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
All right, cool guys. Any other feedback? Any comments about today's live call transfer?
Always grateful to see all the different ways the conversations are handled, right? From a week-to-week basis, we see different angles, different approach from each agent, and we are taking different nuggets from those calls. So it's great to have that. So, and we can see again and again how some agents and some calls, they go back to taking information. And not setting the appointment from the appointment. So it's great to see that things are being applied, but we continue to take nuggets from each call. So it's great to have that.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Tomorrow we're going to condense everything that we learned in a few minutes tomorrow for the Power Hour, and then next week. So a couple changes as far as our topics go. So Mondays. We kept it kind of high level. It was like more mindset stuff. We're going to open Mondays up to technology as well. Okay. So we're going to start the week off technology heavy on Monday, technology heavy on Tuesday. Okay. Given both those topics, we're going to focus on just one thing at a time. All right. So Monday, that would be, let's say, for example, voice AI. So one specific part of our technology stack, voice AI. We're just going to focus on only voice AI. Tuesday, we're going to focus on how to set up a workflow so that you can send emails to your database. Okay. We talked about how to send one email, but maybe we want to set up 5 emails or 6 emails for an event. And so we're going to talk about how to do that on Tuesday. All right. And this just comes from, we're cloudrealty.com. We're a technology company. So I feel like it's our responsibility to raise our standard for every agent here in the technology that you use to serve your buyers and sellers. So with that, guys, thanks for being here. Keep being awesome, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.